I know something you don't know. Oh, man. It is 5:47. I'm Danny Bonaduce. This is KZOK. Good morning.
Good morning.
How the hell are you?
Happy Flag Day.
Is it Flag Day?
It is Flag
today?
Day.
I did not know that.
Apparently she knows something you don't know.
Yeah, it's true. Well, I was going to say I know something you don't know and then say I'm an idiot. But if I said I know something you don't know, I'm an idiot, Paul would then say...
Well, we all knew that.
There we go. So that I would not do that. Why would I even think of it? And I should be all transparency. I know something you don't know and you would never care about.
Oh.
Which may probably isn't that good. But it takes to turn a little life upside down.
Oh.
I'm running around like a crazy person this morning getting for work. Now, I don't have a specific total morning ritual about how you get dressed and things like that. But I do have some things that I get done before I leave for work. And the last thing I do, well, there's two. One is kiss the wife. Mm-hmm. And then she says, will you lock me in once? Mm-hmm. And I say, I will lock you in once. And then I go out the door and I lock her in once. Fascinating
really cute,
so far, huh? What, dear?
That's very cute.
Oh, thank you. When I'm late, I even tell her in advance, hey, there'll be no kisses involved with this, but I will lock you in once. So I went up and I've been doing a thing. I've been eating prepared meals. I'm watching my girls figure. I am beautiful. Hear me roar. And so my plan is I defrost them in the microwave at home, and then they only need like a minute here. So I'm not running around trying to cook my meals and go back when you have to stir and punctuate and or puncture and stuff like this. It's just a hassle. So I've been doing that, and it's gone like clockwork to this point, but this is only day 3. And I'm running. I mean, I'm late. It's 5:28 in the morning, and the microwave's buzzing away. And so I'm doing the thing, and I pull it down, and it's still frozen. And I look at the box with the directions, and it says 7 minutes, not 4.
Yeah.
Oh.
3 minutes, you go, well, 3 minutes, fine. But no, I was running just that close there. So I'm running around, I'm doing all my stuff. I put hot food into my backpack, which I don't know if that's good. I walk in the door, I lock her in once, and it is 5:31 in the morning. And this show starts in 14 minutes.
Yeah.
That's late. Even if I get here, and that's crazy scaring me late. But I'll be fine. Did you guys get my text, by the way?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I'm running late, but I'll be there on time.
I sent you the OK symbol.
Yeah, by that time I was doing 80.
Yeah.
And so I get out my front door, lock her in once, get in the car. My car clock is not the same as my microwave clock by 4 minutes. It's according to my car, it's 5:35.
Oh, my.
5:31, I can get here. Hey, I'm going to be late, but I will be there, you guys. At 5:35, the next text is not going to make it. Play a song, talk about something, whatever you guys want to do, but I'm not going to be there in time. I did, in fact, make it with minutes to go, and I was thrilled by that. But is that something I can rectify? Or do I
Fixing
just...
the clock in your car?
Fixing the clock at home. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Which one do you think's right? Well, which one matches your cell phone?
I'll tell you well, you know what it is? It's which one made me not late is whatever it is. This time
Okay.
So yesterday I had a cool $6 hat on. And
it was cool, too.
It was cool with the palm trees.
Palm trees,
yeah, $6. This is what I've called for about 9-10 minutes now, my Yakima hat.
Yes.
Oh,
This is my Yakima. I'm assuming this one was about $30 because it's a real hat and it has some lining in it.
It's a nice looking hat.
Thank you, Paul. It is a nice looking hat, but so is the one from yesterday, and that one was $6 from a costume store. So anyway, Sarah was, you can't wear headphones and a cool hat. What a drag.
I know, what a bummer.
What a trade-off, man. So Sarah was kind enough to bring me a magazine article from Seattle Magazine. Do you know
Seattle Magazine, yeah.
Seattle Magazine. And it said, Yakima, because that's how it sounds. If you guys read it, it might just say Yakima. But when I read it, it says Yakima. And then it said the Palm Springs of Washington.
Yeah.
And as you know, I am a big, big fan of Palm Springs.
And you were a big fan of Yakima, despite not really having any reason to be.
I had no reason to be, although I think I'm right.
Yeah.
I think I'm right.
People say nice things about Yakima.
They do. I think there was a shooting or something one time, and everybody turned on me. That's your favorite place is ruined.
Yes.
People shoot people all the time, you guys. So I got the article from Sarah yesterday, and it said where to eat and drink. And one of the things it had that I will give, if you care about such things, and I don't really, one thing it does that Yakima can't do is give you a list of the bars where Frank Sinatra used to drink.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think the man drank in Yakima. I don't know. I don't know if it'd make it even better if Frank Sinatra drank in Yakima, but that's just something they can do in Palm Springs that they can't do in Yakima. And I gotta give the wife some kudos because I freak out about stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Remember I told you I saw a play of Rocky Horror Show in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, with 60-year-old
Yes.
drag queens singing. I was going to sell my house and move to Puerto Vallarta so I could work at the whatever theater that Stage 3 theater. And I said to Amy like the second day, because I couldn't stop talking about it, and she looked at me and goes, what do you want to do? Because the answer is going to be, I want to go back to the theater and see another drag queen dance. What do you think? What are you, crazy? There's drag queens dancing. I got $8. And instead, she said, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know. I'm coming off the acid about that theater now, and there are other things. So, the Yakima thing, especially when I hadn't been there yet, might be a passing fancy. I don't know.
Well, you got this article and then decided you were going immediately.
I went home, and I got to give the wife credit, man. I went home and said, I'd really like to go to Yakima for the weekend. It's the Palm Springs of Washington. She went, all right. Boom. Okay.
It's only like a 2 hour and 20-minute drive.
I'm really excited. What she won't do, that I said that we should totally do, if it's as bitchin' as I think it's going to be, and it's Yakima.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be as bitchin' as I think it's going to be? I said we should stay Friday night.
Yeah.
And then we should
buy a condo.
And Saturday night, we should stay Saturday night. And if it's cool, we should stay Sunday night into Monday morning and just get up at 2. That's only 2 hours earlier than I wake up every single day.
Yeah.
And I'll just drop you off at home on the way to the show. And she said, no. It's something about being a maniac. I don't know what it was. But yeah, I'm taking my Yakima hunt. And I'm telling the story, by the way, kind of a day in advance.
Yeah, you're doing this tomorrow.
Tomorrow I want to go, hey, going to Yakima right after the show. And then Monday I went, hey, went to Yakima.
Yeah.
But right now I dream of Yakima.
News is brought to you by Les Schwab. Kent police are investigating a shooting that killed a 25-year-old man early this morning at the Summerwalk Via Apartments. The suspect is still on the loose, and according to police, the man was found shot, unresponsive, 2 o'clock in the morning, and they had attempted CPR. Those efforts failed. They have not released a lot of information about the circumstance. We're not sure how these two people knew each other. They believe that there was some sort of fight between the two, and this
I would imagine so.
They think, though, they might have known each other,
Right.
but they're not exactly sure how, that if this doesn't seem to be random. They're just not sure what the circumstances that led up to
Out
the
of all
shooting
the fights I could consider real, so I'm going to have to get myself out of junior high, maybe 5. Which, by the way, my in-laws were asking my wife when we first got married, how many bar fights have you seen him get into? None, never, ever. He doesn't do that. But if I guess 5 real fights, I've known 4 of the people I fought very well.
Yeah.
Between well and very well. One, that's how I met Jim O'Neill. He punched me in the stomach. Oh, I'm not in junior high. I'm 7.
Right.
But same thing.
No, even when you go back to childhood and what you would consider non-serious fights, it's generally with your best friend.
Right. That's exactly true. That doesn't happen later in life because as you're older, you get real injuries that aren't that funny.
Right.
The search is underway for a gunman who terrorized drivers on 509 yesterday. SeaTac Airport was shut down around this area. Not the airport itself, but the roadway around SeaTac was shut down for more than 5 hours as police searched for evidence as to who opened fire on at least 4 cars. Thankfully, nobody was hurt. The gunman,
Which is remarkable.
Yes.
Just see it? He shot from a distance.
Yeah.
They're right through the windshield and passenger door.
Yep.
It's amazing no one got hurt.
And nobody was hurt, and initially they thought it was a drive-by, but now they realize that the shots appear to have come from the tree line, so the person was not in a vehicle. They were stationary. All 4 cars were hit on the driver's side of their cars, and they do not believe that those vehicles were targeted.
On the tree line, which is a real small forest, if you will, next to the freeway, I thought at first, well, wow, this time no security cameras whatsoever. And that's not true. Somebody's got a GoPro or something of the little flash. And then he goes through the forest, in my estimation, and then there might be security cameras over there. But this is a really serious crime. This is, it's not this guy's marksmanship that made it so no one got killed.
Police are hoping to dig up some clues into who is stealing large construction equipment in Kent. Over the weekend, an excavator was stolen from a job site near 249th Street. And the missing excavator is a 2016 Hitachi ZX5OU.
Oh, those.
And police say if you see it, call police immediately.
How do you steal it? I mean, anybody can hotwire them. to be honest.
They pull them onto a trailer.
Onto a trailer?
Yeah.
Do they pull them or do they hotwire and drive them? That'd be a drag to have to drag one of those things through the dirt.
In this case, I think it was they pulled it on with a winch. So they pulled up with a trailer, hooked it up to a winch. And pulled it
Ballsy.
on. Yeah.
Paul is
But
correct.
a lot of times, too, they just leave the keys in those things.
Yeah,
You think
they do.
Nobody's going to steal
Or there are
this.
no keys. You just push a button.
So this is the second time this has happened, but what happened previously was a 2018 Cat excavator.
Yeah.
And in that case, surveillance video shows a white Ford Super Duty truck with a trailer, and just as Paul said, they just loaded it on. So the excavator stolen $70,000.
Yeah.
Is the worth.
I don't even know what it looks like. I've just got an idea in my head of what it looks like, and I would have thought more than that by a lot. I've got a giant piece of machinery in my head.
Although it's tough to sell, I would imagine. You got a pretty small market, and then it's a black market. So.
Well, you paint the thing, and maybe it's from farmers.com, and they sell it. The farmers will never see it again.
Yeah.
On the lighter side of local news, there is a new survey out about vegetables and across America figuring out what the most beloved vegetable is. Across the
20
U.S.
years ago, Christopher Reeves was a really funny joke on this, but not now.
Oh,
See?
It's still a little funny.
So funny. But when it was happening, if you were mean enough to tell it, because he not only was, the poor man was sick, he was much beloved.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were stupid to say it. I think right now you might be still stupid to have said it, Paul.
well, across the United States, but not here in Washington, there is one vegetable that reigns supreme. Do y'all want to wager a guess?
I'll wager a guess, but it's just the first vegetable. I don't have a great. I like it. Corn.
Oh, corn's a great answer. Is tomato considered in this survey a fruit or a vegetable?
I think a vegetable in
It's
this
a
survey.
fruit.
It is. I know it's a fruit. In this survey, I would think that it's a vegetable.
It
No,
is
then
not.
I'll go with
it doesn't
tomato.
show up in the top.
Then I would never go with
Don't
tomato.
go with
That's
that,
a
man. You're an
stupid
idiot.
answer.
I can't teach you anything.
What's broccoli? Is broccoli?
Broccoli is correct.
Cauliflower. Oh, broccoli's correct.
Really?
Give that man a head of broccoli.
I had a fair amount of broccoli yesterday. It's not my favorite, but it was surprisingly good the way they got this place called Homegrown. I had a salad for dinner, which I'm against totally. And it was filled with broccoli, but they really cooked it so they wouldn't have the horrible crunch.
Yum.
Yum.
Broccoli is the most popular vegetable in 47% of U.S. states, but not Washington. In Washington, it is carrots,
Oh,
Really?
the most
I wouldn't
favorite
guess.
vegetable. Now, broccoli is by far the number one most popular vegetable, followed by corn,
Oh,
potatoes.
Oh, I forgot potatoes was a vegetable.
You know, that's
I felt
why-
really stupid saying that just
that's
now.
why I'm saying, hey, man, you should do what I was doing, those cognitive tests and things
Yeah.
like that. And they'd say, name as many vegetables as you can in 30 seconds. I'd go, broccoli.
I started with the fruit, so I'm out.
In national news, the Federal Reserve raised interest rates by 0.25% yesterday at the end of its two-day policy meeting. The new target range for federal funds, that rate is going to be 1.75 to 2%. The Federal Open Market Committee said that there were a number of issues in making its decision: job gains, declining unemployment, and a stronger inflation. So the Fed did indicate they'd be making 3 rate hikes this year, but they are now raising that projection to 4 rate
Now,
hikes.
If you go to do a 30-year fixed loan, though, that's way more than that, right? That's not what. That's the government gets that.
Correct, yes.
So
It's
do you
quite
know-
a bit more than that, but now it's going to be at least 0.25 more than it would have been last week.
I saw in the news a number, and I couldn't. I'm on the treadmill and stuff. 4.5 something percent. I'm thinking that's terrible. That's
As
from
the
when I was a
average?
kid. I couldn't really exactly tell what it was, but I did think it was for the loan on a house.
Higher interest rates serve as savers as interest rates on deposits. Those would rise. That means higher rates for borrowers. As banks are charged more money, they then raise the rates on small business loans, credit cards, and mortgages. So to offset what the government is going to be taking out or charging, that then gets passed on by the banks or the lenders to the consumers. So companies that are, they say for people who are carrying a lot of debt, this is pretty bad news for them. Or people who don't have a fixed mortgage, this is bad for them.
And everybody I know carries a lot of debt. It's like, it seems to be a good American system. When I was a young man, I didn't know anybody anything, and now I'm successful, and I owe hundreds of thousands of dollars to all sorts of people.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate statistic about America, the amount of debt that Americans do seem to carry. More movement at the White House. Numerous staffers have left the White House over the past 6 months. And now CBS News is reporting Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders and Principal Deputy Press Secretary Raj Shah are planning to leave as well. Sanders was appointed back in July of last year, and she says she plans on leaving in a few months, but has not been specific.
How the world changes. On the news, she's saying, do they know something I don't know about my future? I'm not going anywhere. I love this job. Get to work. She's leaving tomorrow morning.
She has reportedly told friends of her planned departure closer to the year's end, so probably 6 more months.
Seems like a terrible job.
It does.
Yeah, it really
And
does.
she's really good at it and looks really bad at it. She makes weird faces, and she makes I'm really uncomfortable faces.
She looks
Yeah.
angry a lot, too.
A lot.
The last few press secretaries have really been like seemingly agitated by the existence of the press.
Right.
Dennis Hoff, we talked about him earlier in the week.
We did. He owns the Bunny Ranch and others, right?
That is correct. He is the owner of half a dozen illegal brothels in Nevada. He's the star of the HBO adult reality series Cat House. And now he's won the Republican primary for state legislature, ousting a 3-term lawmaker. Dennis Hoff defeated hospital exec James Oscarson. He'll face Democratic Lizia Romanov in December and will be the favored candidate in the Republican-leaning Assembly District.
I got to tell you, I'm a big fan, like I said, of Vice. If it's controlled and governed and taxed and there's doctors and all this, why
Yeah.
can't people do that kind? It's crazy. Yet, I don't know about a pimp as senator, and that's what that job is.
Essentially.
Right.
He is still with Heidi Fleiss, and they were celebrating together. They've been a couple for like 10 years or
How
something.
can anybody? She is the most annoying woman in the whole wide world. I know I say this every time, but I just think it's so weird that her dad is my son's pediatrician, or was. He's like the most sought-after pediatrician
Wow.
in Los Angeles. Maybe
No.
retired by now. Dante's, 40?
If Dennis Hoff does win in November, he would not be the only brothel owner in elected office.
Really?
Lance Gilman, the owner of the famous Mustang Ranch,
Yeah.
Great name.
is the commissioner in Story County. So there would be 2 brothel owners, essentially pimps.
Weird. And I thought Dennis's brother Jack was going to run.
Danny.
What would it say on his campaign sites? No.
It would say I'm Dennis's little brother.
Yeah, okay.
Jack. What are you talking about?
2
Weirdo
Norwegian
head.
lawmakers have nominated President Donald Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize.
Is it a gag?
Well, the Nobel Peace Prize is already done for the year, so he can't win.
They didn't nominate him for next year?
He's
They'd
only
have, they'd have to back him for next year because they stopped taking nominations. They've already figured it out as of January 1st.
But they did nominate him for this year, despite the fact that they cannot do so. Is that what you're saying?
That sounds fishy to me.
Yes, though, essentially that is correct. Now,
so yeah,
Why
they're
would
they're making fun of him.
Why would they take his admission? They're not a joke, those guys. Why
No,
would they
no,
go,
no,
yeah,
this
yeah.
is- This isn't somebody saying we accept that nomination. This is somebody saying I'm going to nominate the guy after the nominations are closed.
Because, it's all over the news, and I think they implied the same thing. So, all right.
the process of considering candidates and awarding Nobel Peace Prizes are done in Norway. Nominations must be sent to the Norwegian Nobel Committee before February 1st. The committee does not publicly comment on who was nominated, and it's information which was required to be kept secret for 50 years.
Wow. Super weird.
So these 2 dudes can say they're nominating your mom, and that could be lying because the Nobel Committee will not confirm nor
Yeah,
deny.
don't nominate my mom. I
Paul,
found something
your
out.
mom.
I found something out recently. Did you know that Norway is an actual country?
It is real,
Totally
real
didn't know,
place,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a real place.
A Texas man was arrested after he allegedly used his lawnmower to hurl rocks at 3 people, including a 9-year-old, and then showed no remorse. Johnny Manning was arrested after he allegedly used his riding lawnmower as a weapon to pelt his roommate, her ex-husband, and her daughter with rocks. Now, the dispute began when this guy, Johnny Manning, was attempting to kick his roommate, Angela Fortunat, out of his home. Actually, her name is Fontenot. Fontenot's
Okay.
ex-husband was dropping off the
Because I had it
daughter.
confused with Becky Fontenot. I gotta straighten that out.
Now, he claims, older dude, Johnny, that Chris Fontenot challenged him to a fist fight. And he said, I can't do that no more. I'm 72.
Yeah, good.
He then got on his riding lawnmower and started spinning the machine around to send rocks flying towards the SUV.
I blame kind of everybody, but at the very least, I blame that guy less.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because he's 72?
No, get out of the way. Do you understand the mechanics of how you shoot rocks with a riding lawnmower?
I mean, you just drive over
you
rocks.
ride over gravel and they go exactly one direction.
Right,
Not the
yeah.
band, but they go exactly one direction and one
Yeah.
direction only, usually a 45-degree angle out the back. So he had to be past those people. And if somebody like little Johnny took one to the head, I'm bummed and everything, but then you move one step.
And
you're-
little Johnny really would have to be laying on the ground to take one to the head.
All right, so hang
It's
on.
going to
Yeah,
shoot
yeah.
pretty low.
On a lawnmower. Dad and the 9-year-old girl are in a car, and that's when he drives his lawnmower using it as a weapon with the rocks. So they would have had to start the car and then drive away really fast. But they didn't
Well,
have time
it's a
to do
lawnmower.
that.
I don't know if they have to go 80, but I see your point.
So cops arrive at the scene and they said, what happened here? You attacked them. And he said, yeah, I did. And I don't regret it. And I would do it again.
That kind of Rexmire was their fault.
Tough to defend him
Yeah.
at that point.
A really strange story out of Japan. Relatives of a missing Japanese man reported him missing to police. They were called to the police station and said, we've got a body. Can you come on down and identify Steve? Well, they went down and identified Steve.
Traditional Japanese
Yeah.
name,
Yep.
Steve.
Well, don't be an idiot. It's Steve's son.
Then they went home and they were feeling so sad. When in through the door walks Steve.
How many
Oh.
people are named Steve in Japan these days?
They misidentified the body
Right.
of their loved one. They said sorry. They went back to the police
What are they,
station.
Canadian now?
Is that guy just super pissed, though? Like, you thought I looked like a corpse, you know?
Yes, I would be.
How do you misidentify your loved one? It just seems really crazy.
It does seem weird.
So
First
they-
place, if there's a missing Japanese guy, I'd go right to that forest. It's the first thing I'd do.
Yeah.
Where that RuPaul guy or whatever his name is.
Logan Paul?
Same
Or
thing.
his brother?
Yeah. That's where I would go all the time. And I bet they don't really kill themselves in that forest as much as TV and news is making it out.
Yeah.
They do call it the suicide forest for a reason. But no, this wasn't suicide. This was a guy who had gone missing. He's
In fact,
old.
it wasn't even death.
Right.
The guy
Right.
was alive.
He didn't even have an illness.
So missing persons report, they said, oh, there he is. That's him. He's dead. By the way, they cremated the body and mourned Steve.
They're very nonchalant about it, though.
So weird.
Yeah, well, there he is. It's Steve. He's dead.
So they had to then figure out who Steve really was and then track that family down so the process could start all over again.
Well, he can't start to identify the body. He's in an ashtray.
But if they look so much alike, though, why don't you just have living Steve split his time between the two families? Make everybody happy.
Because they're not crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
I think it's a sound idea.
I disagree vehemently.
And according to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, a growing number of American men are having cosmetic surgery to improve their looks and increase their confidence.
Doesn't work, guys. Don't do it.
Well, this isn't Botox. This is full-fledged plastic surgery.
Yeah, and then you look crazy. You
on
look like
your
Kenny
body.
Rogers, even if you're a girl.
They are reporting 1.3 million cosmetic procedures were performed. They said a lot of procedures are done on a part of their body they're self-conscious about. Liposuction has increased 23%, a 12% increase in tummy tucks, 30% increase in male breast reductions. So some of them are minimally invasive facial procedures, fillers, injections, but also actual surgery on your body.
Yeah, I'm not, it just, and I even was told this by a plastic surgeon I was willing to pay. Well, I wasn't, I was much too young. But 15 years ago, I asked Paul Nassif, that doctor that's on TV,
Yep.
I asked him at his own party 4 facial plastic surgeons. I said, now what can I do about these bags? Is there anything that can be done about these bags under my eyes, doctor? And he said, yeah, you can grow old gracefully. It doesn't work on men, and I'm the doctor.
Wow.
Wow.
Then you start looking at guys, and he's right. Burt Reynolds, oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Kenny Rogers.
The full-on facelift definitely seems to be too dramatic, but fillers, Botox, if you have the need for a gynoplasty, like you've got big man boobs and you want to do something about it, they said the options are out there. You just want to do a board-certified surgeon because you don't want to have some lady in a motel room put caulk in your backside.
You don't want to be unbotched.
Exactly. A young woman endured an exhausting ordeal when she got her head stuck in a truck's oversized tailpipe at a music festival.
All right, I gotta say, what?
Yeah, I really just have one question.
Yeah.
What?
Firefighters used a power saw to free the woman from her predicament at the Woodstock Music Festival just outside of Minneapolis. And sadly for her, the video was posted to Facebook.
Oh, God.
They have not figured out why she had her hail in a tailpipe, but do believe alcohol may have been a factor.
She's a stupid terrorist.
Yeah?
Somebody said, blow up that truck. And she started with the tailpipe.
Are you familiar with castoreum?
No.
No.
Castoreum is a yellowish, strong-smelling secretion that comes from the castor sacs near the base of a beaver's tail.
Oh, I can't imagine why we weren't familiar with that.
Yeah.
Well, it's an FDA-approved food additive. That's why I thought you...
The stink gland?
Stinkland?
Isn't that what you said?
Yeah, it's a secretion that comes from the castor sacs that are found near the base of a beaver's tail.
It's like an oil gland, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have thought that, except I just saw Andrew Zimmern either refuse to eat one or eat one.
Yeah.
Well, they're FDA approved to use castoreum, and it's now being made and put into a whiskey from a distillery called Tamworth.
No.
They said it gives notes of muskiness and vanilla. It's not easy to extract because of where I told you it is on a beaver.
Yeah. By the way, it's very difficult to milk a beaver.
And definitely annoying to the beaver.
Yep, you have to sedate it and milk it.
And you know what
Why
else
don't you
gives
shoot
notes of vanilla?
Notes of vanilla.
Yeah.
Why not use vanilla?
$65 if you would like to get Tamworth Eau de Musk.
No, I don't.
No.
No, you don't? Hey, tomorrow at 7:50, if you can tell us where Sarah's beaver has been, we have a pretty fabulous prize, right?
Yeah, tickets to see Dead and Company at the Gorge.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I knew it was fabulous. I didn't know it was that fabulous.
It's fabulous.
Dead and Company tomorrow at 7:50. Be here. More beaver talk. But now it's time for today's Things Are Not Right in Florida story of the day.
Yay!
Pasco County Sheriff's Office says it's looking for a man they claim stole an agency-issued handgun. A detective went into a Burger King bathroom, washed his hands, and left his gun behind. Now, they said this is an ongoing investigation. They're not sure why the gun was left in the bathroom. And they're looking for a white male wearing a sleeveless black shirt, black hiking pants, and sneakers. Oh, and a gun, which they say is likely gray, has a trigger, and is full of bullets.
Yeah, that would describe a gun. All right. So the guy, the agent, you said?
Police officer, sheriff.
He's leaves his gun behind,
Yep.
and a kid with a black shirt or whatever comes in and takes it. I don't know that this guy is automatically a thief, is he? What about the incredible American rule of finders keepers?
Right, yeah, losers weepers.
Yeah,
for
totally.
sure.
Those guys too.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, Florida.
News this morning brought to you by Les Schwab. When we come back with music news, well, new music from Paul McCartney is on the way, and we've got a sneak peek.
Nice.
We've got a lot of entertainment news and sports. Oh my, the Mariners continue to be red hot. We'll tell you what happened yesterday and give you tickets to an upcoming game next. Word is Paul McCartney has been working hard on new material. According to the Daily Edition, a reporter for them says that Paul McCartney will be releasing a new album tomorrow.
Wow.
We don't have any official confirmation, but he does have something new. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, I would love to.
Okay.
I saw you flash a smile. It seemed to me to say you wanted so much more than casual conversation. I said,
Obviously,
You know,
this is from the studio.
there are interesting life lessons here. For example, Paul McCartney can suck. This is terrible.
He's at a pub, and that's where he debuted this new song called Come Home to You.
So that's not the official material being released tomorrow?
That's the iPhone recording?
That is
Oh, okay. Well,
the live version.
I can't tell that. But I was listening to some Paul McCartney yesterday on Wax Story, and, some of Wings' songs, not one bad album, in my opinion. Not one, but some terrible songs. I mean, because I have had enough of silly love songs.
It seems the late king of pop won't be getting a street named after him in Motown after all. The Detroit Free Press reported yesterday that a ceremony planned for tomorrow for Michael Jackson Avenue has been canceled.
Oh, I bet I know why.
I don't think you do.
Oh, then tell me.
Because I was thinking the same thing as you.
Yeah.
Kind of getting a little bit of a bad name.
Yeah, because I don't even want to go up Michael Jackson Avenue, if you know what I'm saying.
Now, what was happening was all of his remaining siblings were going to show up. Well, some of them. Jackie, Tito, Jermaine, and Marlon. Not Janet. But that they were going to show up. They were all going to do some performing, and there was going to be this big ceremony. It turns out the city prohibits ceremonial street designations for groups or organizations. So they can't have Michael Jackson Avenue.
But Michael Jackson's not a group nor an organization, is he? And he's dead.
I am with you. Maybe it's an excuse.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, it sounds like a rule that you enforce selectively.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, how many boulevards do you think they have there in Motown? I guess a lot.
Yeah,
think a lot?
I would guess a lot.
They have a whole bunch of sports guys. And
Right.
then the Motown stars. Yeah, I guess you're right. That's kind of weird. Although I find it weird that James Brown has a statue and a street in Gary, Indiana. He was arrested in Gary, Indiana on PCP with a shotgun after a high-speed chase. Who gets a street after that?
Yeah.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival happens on September 21st and 22nd at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. There's so many performers, including Justin Timberlake, Jack White, Imagine Dragons, Leonard Skinner, Fleetwood Mac, but there are so many more. Tickets go on sale to the general public tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., but that Capital One cardholder pre-sale is happening right now. You guys can go to iHeartRadio.com/Capital One and get those pre-sale tickets before they're gone.
Such a fantastic weekend and like a great lineup. You could put it anywhere in the country, but if you put it in Vegas, it just like raises it to the next level.
That is
You can go
true.
party in Vegas and have a great time.
And in entertainment news, Bill Clinton's debut as a novelist is already one of the year's biggest hits.
Wow.
The President is Missing. The thriller he co-wrote with James Patterson sold 250 copies in its first week.
No. I'm hoping it sold
That
way
doesn't
more
seem
than
like
that.
enough. 250,000?
Oh, and I said just 250? Sorry.
Yeah.
250 copies.
And he bought them all himself just so he looked good.
Hashtag dump Sarah. I'll do
Yeah.
it myself. 250,000 copies in its first week.
Wow, that's big.
Number one on Amazon.com. If you haven't read it, the novel begins with a president facing impeachment.
Yeah. I
That-
wonder where he
that-
got that idea.
It's number one. 250,000, that's a lot. Number two is everybody poops.
Ewan McGregor, his next movie will be a Disney summer release called Christopher Robin, playing the grown-up version of the Winnie the Pooh character, Christopher Robin. But now there is word he will be doing Dr. Sleep, which will be the adaptation of a 2013 book by Stephen King. Dr. Sleep is the follow-up to The Shining.
Oh,
So that little Rad Rom kid grows up, but still has all of his weird psychic issues.
right.
And he will play the grown-up kid, Jack Nicholson's son. It was a good book. Danny Torrance, he is now an angry alcoholic dealing with his reemerging psychic powers, working in a hospice, helping dying patients. And there's a whole lot of drama, and they wind up at the Overlook Hotel.
All right.
Ewan McGregor, he's a good actor.
He's a good actor.
Yeah.
I didn't. He kind of lost me for a little while. I watched whatever Star Wars he was in, and it was just a bad one all the way around. But he looked terrible to me. And then I saw him in an interview say he was really sorry that he did most of the Star Wars movie drunk and was bloated and didn't feel well. And
Oh, wow.
all right, I hated you for a reason.
That was a mediocre Star
It
Wars.
really was. And it had that guy as like Darth Vader, whoever that everybody hated, Christian.
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, that guy was stupid.
Yeah.
handsome but stupid.
Not even handsome enough to make up for being that stupid.
But you know who was the worst in that movie? Was Natalie Portman.
Yeah, she was weird. You're right.
She was awful. Mark Hamill told a funny joke on Twitter the other day saying, believe it or not, I've never met this lady. And it was a picture of Padma, which is his mom, which was played by Natalie Portman. He's never met Natalie Portman.
Oh, wow.
So he's never met his mom. And weird to think that Natalie Portman is Mark Hamill's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, all weird.
Turns out avocados can be rather dangerous. On this week's episode of The View, co-host Joy Behar said she had to miss work because she sliced her hand open cutting an avocado.
Oh, I thought when it's a day that you go to the emergency hospital and go, I fell. One of those things? Yeah, not that.
Well, if the way you typically de-pit a avocado, you slice it in half and you slide it open, and then you take a big knife and you whack it,
Yeah.
twist
Turn
it.
it, right.
Well, she did that, but missed the pit.
I always think about that because I'm reasonably coordinated, and I think, could I miss this friggin' thing? And I don't think I have yet, but I am aware that I could.
Oh, the other thing people do is once they have the pit out, they take the half the avocado in the palm of their hand, and then they'll dice it inside.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
And
I
then
may do
scoop
that.
it out. That's when most people cut their hands.
She says, believe it or not, there is a syndrome called avocado hand. The doctor says we get this all the time. And the other big one is bagel hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't forget cauliflower ear.
Right.
No, that's an actual thing.
It is.
Yeah, when you see the wrestlers and things like that, and it's this horrible ear.
Correct.
That's
yeah.
cauliflower ear.
Not from actual cauliflower.
Go, no, certainly not.
Disney has released its first teaser trailer for Tim Burton's remake of Dumbo.
Yeah. It looks great, too.
Yeah,
think?
but big on Tim Burton.
Really?
You have
I'm,
to fix
I'm not
yourself.
a Tim Burton fan, but this looks. I mean, it's a teaser trailer. It's like 30 seconds, and so it's hard to tell. But it's a live action remake of Dumbo. It's got Danny DeVito in it. Colin Farrell with one arm. Which
Colin Farrell only has one
He
arm.
only
Why
has
did they
one
get
arm?
the guy from Def Leppard?
right, exactly.
Totally good question.
Jeez
But I'm
Louise.
excited. Jellybean and I watched the trailer again last night because
Aw.
it came out earlier yesterday, and I watched it, and we watched it again. She's excited. It's been since 1940 something.
Are those totally racist crows going to be in it?
I don't think so.
I got to tell you, until people said that those crows are racist, they were one of my favorite things. I thought they were funny as hell.
Yeah.
But then you see a crow, and they're all dressed like, and they say, "Be done, scene, bad everything." And I'm, hey, man, those people might be right.
1941. So
Yeah.
I didn't watch the full trailer, Paul, but I saw some clips and I thought Dumbo looked a little creepy.
No, I mean, it. Obviously, the elephant looks the most fake out of everything.
I think Danny DeVito is the most fake.
Oh, he looks. Yeah, he looks kind of scary.
What's he dressed as?
Like the ringmaster kind of guy. It's hard to tell because it is just like a short teaser.
Right.
But I'm excited for it.
Well, it's
It'll be
not coming
fun.
out till March of next year, but all the movies that are coming out tomorrow, Derek, of course, will give us a big preview tomorrow morning just after 9.
That's what's so weird is trailers now come out a full year before the
Yeah.
movies, and you get excited about it, and by the time it comes out, you're like, I'm kind of over it.
I wasn't even thinking that. It's almost a year away.
You guys ever see a show called Nothing But Trailers?
No.
And it's a 2-hour show. It's one of the best shows on TV. It changes
Yeah.
all the time. And it literally is what it says, nothing but trailers.
That's cool.
And you'll often see now the movie premiere, and it'll say debuts December
Right.
2020.
That's so crazy. Well, Dumbo does star Danny DeVito, Colin Farrell, Alan Arkin, Eva Green, and Michael Keaton.
Wow.
He's in Dumbo.
And Alan Arkin, he's getting to be up there, isn't he?
He's an old fella.
That's cool. I like that those guys are still working.
He was in, what was the name of that movie?
Everything.
What?
Everything. He's
Little
been
Miss
working like
Sunshine?
crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the Volkswagen bus.
He was a Volkswagen bus?
Nope, he drove the Volkswagen bus.
I mean, he's a great actor.
He's a good actor.
He could play a Volkswagen bus, I think.
I could.
There is some hubbub going on in Hollywood this morning that, of course, will probably anger Danny Bonaduce.
All right, I'm already against it.
A star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Well, it doesn't anger me. I had to wait longer than I thought, but I'm not angry about it.
We are just hours away from Jeff Goldblum getting a star.
Oh, you know what? It's not often I vote okay, but okay.
Really?
Yeah, he's been doing it long enough, and he's super talented.
Yeah.
He was doing a jazz album live on the piano. And
Yeah.
he's getting a little creepy in his old age.
I don't think he's
but-
getting a star for that.
for being creepy.
For the jazz album.
Yeah,
Either
but
one,
who
really.
deserves- well, there are people with jazz albums, believe it or not, on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. But yeah, it doesn't break my heart. It breaks my heart that it's one less 3-foot square area that I can put my star. But if I say it's okay.
Are they in danger of running out?
I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah,
They
they-
started doing something right near my old house, and that is putting them staggered, but right next to each other. They're not a straight line down the street.
Okay.
He will be getting the 2,638th star, and the ceremony will be live streamed on walkoffame.com. And Ed Begley Jr. will be there speaking on his behalf. This kind of coincides with the release of this new Jurassic World movie. He's got another movie coming out where he plays a mathematician. Then, he was in Annie Hall. He was in Independence Day. He's been in a lot of big movies.
Do you know what he did in Annie Hall?
I don't.
Do you, Pa?
No.
He did this. I forgot my mantra. That's everything he does in the movie. I can't,
That's all
when,
he says?
When you said it, I went, because it's kind of famous.
Oh.
Because
Yeah.
it's really famous. At that time, everybody was going, Om, and had a mantra.
Yeah.
So he just, one line was, I forgot my mantra.
Oh, wow.
I hate to say this, but I don't think I've ever actually seen Annie Hall.
I would have to say a fairly huge mistake in judgment.
Yeah,
Although I don't know if
everyone
it
says it's
aged
great.
well.
Yeah.
You definitely go, why is she wearing that?
Right. Paul, have you ever seen Annie Hall?
I don't believe I have, no.
I'm going to bet, Tori, you have not.
I have not.
Derek?
No.
It's on my Netflix watch list.
It's got to be an age thing because everybody I knew growing up saw it.
Sure,
It was
yeah.
the first comedy anybody could even think of that won the Best Picture award.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing this weekend? You want to have a sleepover? We could all watch Annie Hall together. It'd be really fun.
You know, I wanted to, and then you did that.
Are you going to do that voice ever
Yeah.
again?
Let's take a look at sports.
Oh, my
Oh,
God.
Jesus. Sports.
Sports.
Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY, 1-800-DUI-AWAY. The Mariners continue to be red hot.
Look at 'em
Mitch
go.
Haniger, 2-run home run in the ninth after a stellar defensive play at the top of the inning gave the Mariners an 8-6 victory and a sweep of the 3-game series over the Los Angeles Angels.
Yay.
That's something you don't get to say a lot. Mariners sweep the Angels.
Nope. Mitch Haniger has 16 home runs this season, 52 RBIs, and an MLB best 11 game winning hits, including last night's home run. Nelson Cruz, Ryan Healy also homered for Seattle, and Nelson Cruz continues just to be on fire. The Mariners continue to just be on fire.
Yeah. It's the most exciting team that I've seen since I moved here. And I moved here right before the 2001 season when they had that big 116 win season.
Yep.
But it's fun to watch these guys because there's just no quit. It's not in seasons past. You go, oh, the Mariners. They're gonna mess it up.
Yep.
Especially when you have.
I believe we were saying that this year early.
But even like we've had a lot of games recently where you've had multiple lead changes throughout the game, and before you'd say, "Oh, same old Mariners. They gave up the lead. They're going to lose this one," but they don't quit. They fight
That's a good
back
point.
and they win.
I like it.
Well, if you were at yesterday's game at Safeco Field, you need to call in right now to tell us what song played during Mariners KZOK Music Trivia. If you can remember that song, call us right now, 800-252-1025, and you can win a pair of tickets to an upcoming game. So this is a song that blasts throughout the stadium, and you get to play trivia along with the song. So do you know that song from yesterday? Call right now, 800-252-1025. Derek, what do they win?
Tickets for the game tomorrow night at 7:10 versus the Boston Red Sox, which just happens to be Mariners Fireworks Night.
Mariners Fireworks Night.
Right. Call right now. Big series coming up. A 4-game set against the Boston Red Sox, who are also having a very good season.
Yeah.
Felix Hernandez on the mound tonight. The Red Sox will counter with David Price. So David Price is 7-4, and Felix is 6-5. He's had a bit of a rough start.
Yeah.
Felix, we will see how it goes. Yesterday, the Sounders were defeated by the New York Red Bulls 2-1. Up next, the Chicago Fire. Saturday.
You said you wouldn't do it.
Oh, sorry. Chicago Fire.
Much
Nope.
better.
Go back to the other way. Yeah.
That's next Saturday. Match time is at 7. World Cup action begins in just about an hour and 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, we got to get our brackets filled out.
I totally did not know that.
8 o'clock this morning. So
Russia, right? Russia, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Russia, Saudi Arabia.
Do they
And-
play in those weird male tunic suits? I'm not being lame here. They usually don't take those off. They play in soccer clothes,
Shorts
right?
and jerseys.
Shorts, jerseys like everybody else. All right.
Cleats.
Yeah. They wear cleats.
Tomorrow night, the Storm face the Connecticut Sun, 7 o'clock. And some sad news from the world of basketball. Ann Donovan, the Basketball Hall of Famer who won a national championship at Old Dominion, 2 Olympic gold medals as a player, another as a coach. She died yesterday of heart failure at the age of 56.
Sorry to hear that.
She was 6'8".
Wow.
Coached in both college and the WNBA. She became the first female coach and the youngest person to win the WNBA championship, guiding the Seattle Storm in 2004 to that championship. So a local hero, especially in the WNBA circles.
That height, especially for a woman, had to be both a curse and a blessing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I mean, she had to know 20 years ago, my ticker is not going to be able to pump this much blood up and down this body for that much longer.
Congratulations to Matt in Olympia. He was the winner of Mariners KZOK Music Trivia. He knew the song from yesterday's game was Hit Me With Your Best Shot from Pat Benatar. And let's see, Matt in Olympia is going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up tickets to, I forget, Derek, what?
Matt won tickets for the game tomorrow night at 7:10 versus the Boston Red Sox, which just happens to be Mariners Fireworks Night.
Mariners Fireworks Night.
You don't want to miss the first of 5 fireworks nights at Safeco Field featuring the best of baseball music. The Mariners have partnered with Pyro Spectaculars, which is the same group who produces the New Year's Eve at the Space Needle extravaganza for this big event. For tickets and more information, go to mariners.com/fireworks.
Fantastic. So 4-game homestand against the Boston Red Sox starts tonight. Safeco Field, 7:10 start time on Root Sports. So you'll have another chance to win tickets to an upcoming Mariners game tomorrow morning right around this same time. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It's just 1 minute after 7, so hang with us another 90 minutes of comedy and fun. But I snorted when I said comedy. That's a terrible sign. At 7:20 this morning, we're playing a game called Who's the Jimmy? And you can win a pair of tickets to see Jimmy Buffett at Key Arena.
Nice. Well, people are loving the new Domino's marketing campaign.
Yeah, I'm one.
They have said they're going to fill potholes because bad potholes ruin good pizza.
Yeah,
and they're
well,
not
right.
going over to a pothole and filling it with pizza. That'd be weird.
That would be weird. And is it just a great line, or are they actually out there filling potholes?
They're actually out there filling potholes.
So fantastic.
No, they on the news they followed one of the trucks. They're and it's not the filling of the potholes because there's a crew and all that stuff around. Maybe it costs them $25,000 to do each pothole, to pay for everything, the trucks, the insurance, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
For everyone they've done, I think they've gotten about in their local markets alone $250,000 worth of press and $1 million nationwide. It's a great idea. And it works, I think. I mean, I knew it, you knew it when we said it, so I
Yeah.
think that works.
And this is a new campaign for them. Domino's has tried a couple of marketing campaigns in the past. Some are more successful than others. But in this case, you can nominate your city, your town on their website, and then they could show up. So if you live in Renton, you have some pothole problems, you go online and say, Domino's, come over here and fill my pothole because bad potholes ruin good pizza.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
I forget what their one was where it was some sort of like blob and they put that little disc on the top to try to stop the blob, the slide.
Oh, yeah, it looks like a little hat or a street cone. Yeah. I'll tell you a thing that worked for them for years, and they knew it worked for Domino's so well that they didn't change it for years, and that was 30 minutes or less, so your next one's free.
Oh, yeah.
That was told. There were jokes about it in stand-up comedy. People were calling from airplanes, so you couldn't possibly deliver it in a half an hour or less. That was genius.
Well, I mean, you know me and Joe from Lake Stevens, our favorite marketing campaign. I mean, I think it's Paul's too.
Well,
What's
I don't know if it's my favorite.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. You're obsessed. Don't care for it even a little bit. But
Yeah, you don't like that.
But I remember it and stuff.
It's definitely been effective.
I've
yeah.
never been a big beer drinker. I'll tell you one that worked for a really long time, and I think they're trying to keep it working, but I feel that they ruined it. And that is, and I'll ask you this, because a lot of times you say, I saw a great commercial, and you describe it, and someone will say, well, what do they sell? And you go, oh,
Yeah.
I don't know. So either way, you'll know. Dos Equis, what did they do?
The most interesting man in the world.
Loved it. Thought it was
So
genius.
great, yeah.
So great. And
Great
we remembered
campaign.
what it was for, but I don't like the new guy. He's all gangly and weird.
Yeah.
But the most
don't like him
interesting
as much.
the most interesting man in the world thing totally worked for me. Another one that worked is a guy that looked just like him. And that was you're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Shane Company. No, sorry.
Men's Warehouse.
Men's Warehouse, yeah.
And I don't know, he got fired under weird circumstances. I don't know what it was, but I thought that worked too.
Yeah.
Well, you guys listening, what's an ad or a marketing campaign that you find great? We've given some really good examples.
Yeah, we are.
What do you think? Call us now. Let us know. 800-252-1025 or text your answer to 906.
Hey, Domino's Pizza has a what I consider to be just a brilliant new ad campaign. Bad potholes ruin good pizzas, and they're filling potholes in American streets, and people dig it. What ad campaign totally worked for you? 1-800-252-1025, or you can text away at 90627.
We'll start with Paul and Buckley.
Hey, Paul.
Hey, Danny. This one came to mind immediately when you started talking about this. Where's the beef?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're
Where's
right.
the beef?
That woman's been dead 20 years.
Yeah.
And people still say, where's the beef? It was in movies. People
Yeah.
did it. That was, I mean, but who would have thought genius? There's a couple of these I would have thought when I thought of them, oh, I'm so smart.
Right.
And I'd have been wrong. But when somebody said, where's the beef with an old lady? Everybody would be saying it. I'd have thought there, but it was great. It was great. Thank you, Paul.
That's the early winner on the text line, too. I've got 5 or 6 people saying, where's the beef?
Nice. An ad or a marketing campaign you find great? Let us know. Call 800-252-1025. Let's hear from Coco in Graham.
Hey, Coco.
Good morning, all.
What are you doing?
So, well, here's the dealio. It doesn't work for me, but I think it works for the company. Cialis, the medication for erectile dysfunction.
Yeah.
Their
I mean,
ad
I don't
at one
know.
point, they have this guy that comes on and he's like, if you have an erection for more than 4 hours, go to your physician. They just sold their product to those guys right then and there.
That is genius. You're very
that
smart,
way.
because I was going to say I'm not sure that I could have remembered the name of the product, but when you said
Yeah.
if you have a Mr. Happy for more than 4 hours, that's very clever.
And the fact that they legally have to say it because it's a medical side effect
Right.
that is dangerous,
Yep.
yet it's the main selling point of the product. You go, for 4 hours, yeah.
Yeah, right.
I want
Party.
that.
Drama in Renton, an ad or marketing campaign you love?
Hey, good morning, y'all.
Morning, Drama. What do you got for us?
Okay, so I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it was AWA or AIWA, the Speakers of Stereo place. But they showed this young kid, and he's driving, and he's happy, and he's waving to everyone, and the old man sitting next to him is shaking his head in disdain. And the song that's playing is Another One Bites at Us. And at the end of the commercial, you see that they're driving a hearse.
Oh, wow.
I can only agree because you remember it all these years later. That sounds really good. All right, I got one. You ready for this? Although I might be not dating myself because I think it's apparent I'm the old guy, but I might be dating you guys and being young. Anybody remember Memorex tape? Oh, you got to have seen this. The guy in the chair holding the glass, and they turn on the speakers, and it blows him backwards about 4 feet.
No.
You sure I think there's a poster of it in the other studio.
Oh, wow.
It's his hair flying back?
No, he flies back several
Oh.
inches, and the cocktail is about a foot away from him, and it blows into his hand.
Oh,
It slides down the table.
gotcha. Let's go up with Ron in Kirkland here. Let's hear from him.
Hey, Ron.
Good morning, you guys.
Morning.
Danny, you'll probably remember this, but in the late 70s, Polaroid had commercials with Jim Garner and Marriott Hartley playing a married couple.
I do remember that. I'm a fan of both of those guys.
Yeah, and they would bicker like a typical married couple that he was going to mess it up because he was doing it wrong. And It was so simple, but those commercials were funnier than the shows they were sponsoring.
Oftentimes, man. Yeah, I remember that. You know what? You remember a lot of times the ones you grow up with and things like that more. But, when they called them, where's the beef? It's like, how did I not think of that? That was crazy pop. And people went. And people like burger ones. 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. I'm not looking at any notes. I didn't write that down.
Right.
That's 30 years ago, maybe more than that, that they started doing that, and I remember it.
And some of these aren't even time. Like, we all know Have a Coke and a Smile and the Coca-Cola song.
Right.
That campaign started in the early 70s before a lot of us were born.
Right.
But then they bring it back because it was so successful.
That's a spicy meatball. You guys know that one, or am I just yelling?
No, I don't know.
Okay, good. Alka-Seltzer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony in Kapowsin, an ad or marketing campaign you find great?
Well, I think they did a pretty good job. Got Milk
Got Milk.
became, it morphed into everybody going, got this, that, the other
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
Not only did that, but actors and big name actors fought to do that.
Yeah.
Everybody wanted that white
Milk
thing on
mustache.
their upper lip.
Mustache.
And then they some famous guy though had got arrested for coke, and they put this white thing across his lip. I thought that was genius.
Rhonda in Marysville, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
What do you think?
Mayhem by Allstate.
Man, oh, I like that guy. I
Yeah.
think that's a very clever spot.
But I mean, and these ones have been going on for several years. They keep finding more ways for mayhem to cause mayhem.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like this one where he's the phone underneath your seat.
Yes.
All right, yes.
That's one of the new ones.
People are texting some great ones into 90627. Weebles wobble and they don't fall down.
Yep,
You guys know
absolutely.
that one?
Yeah.
A lot of people saying the guy on the horse from the Old Spice commercials.
Oh, I love those.
How
I
great were
love
those?
that.
Old Spice used to do this thing. I don't think they do it anymore, but they would print on their products, on the deodorant and the cologne. It would say something like, if your dad didn't wear this, you wouldn't exist. Or
Oh,
something like
funny.
that. That's funny. I love that.
What do we think? A marketing or ad campaign that is great? Flo? Progressive?
Yeah, she's annoying, but
She's annoying.
memorable.
I don't get insurance with her because of it or anything. I
True.
don't know what, but I mean, obviously it's good, and it's sprouted a little kind of cottage industry with other people on her commercial, like that Jamie guy. I know his name.
Yeah,
He's the
me
Jamie
too.
guy. That's
Right.
crazy.
James and Bothell, an ad or marketing campaign you find great?
Good morning, all.
Morning.
I was actually in some of these commercials, but the Rainier beer commercials that lasted 20 years, and I saw Mickey Rooney, and I got to be in a lot of those commercials.
Wow,
did?
that's kind of cool. And here's the thing about how great they are. Tell me if you recognize this. Rainier beer.
Were you in those commercials too?
I've never even seen one.
Oh,
and I
yeah,
know
right.
it does that.
But you know it.
James, were you a child actor?
Well, no, I was actually in high school, and I was 6 foot tall, and I was one of the Rainier beer bottles. All you could see was my legs. I was
Oh.
inside the bottle.
But good legs. You've got
awesome.
good
Very
legs.
cool.
Good for you, James. That's very cool.
You know, I'll give you one that and it doesn't overwhelmingly, but it's got audio I can play for you. The Harbo gummy candies. You ever heard that one?
Yeah. No.
It's a bunch of executives at a conference table, and they look like they're gonna, change the world and do an incredible ad campaign, and then they do this.
Talk about Haribo Gold Bears. Aloha. I can't stop eating this orange one. The red
I've never seen this.
It's coming out of the mouths of adults, and it's
Oh.
perfect. It's completely perfectly thick. I think it's funny.
Zach
Thank you, by the way.
in Sultan, an ad or marketing campaign you find great?
Good morning, folks.
Morning.
I got 2 of them here, if I may.
You may.
Danny will remember them. See the USA in a Chevrolet.
Sure. Absolutely.
And then take it off. Take it
All off. Yeah, absolutely.
What is that for?
That's a shaving cream, I believe, if I'm not
Oh.
mistaken. All right, Jack's not there. Yes, then in that case, I insist. It's a shaving cream. Oh, what about? I did already. That's a spicy meatball. Same commercial. Ready? I can't believe I ate the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Joey in Port Orchard, what do you think?
I love the E-Trade babies.
The E-Trade, I haven't seen those in a while. Those
I
were
watch
good. Those were funny.
I watch a ton of TV, and I don't know them, but I'm
Super Bowl
assuming
commercials.
that I know them, and I just can't remember them right now. What are they?
They were big Super Bowl commercials for several years, the E-Trade babies. That the talking baby telling you how to invest your money.
Yeah.
Candy Graham.
Candy Graham, what up?
I can bring home the bacon.
Fried up in a pan.
And never, never let you forget you're a man, 'cause I'm a woman.
Candy, that was awesome.
That was awesome. But was that a commercial for actual bacon? Because that's a real song.
I think it was for
No,
Charlie Perfume.
Oh, it was perfume.
Candy, is that right?
Yep, perfume.
For perfume.
Yeah.
Charlie, I don't even know if they still make that.
Yeah,
That was from the
I
80s.
know Charlie because it was super famous with beautiful girls in it.
Yeah.
And my friend Sean Cassidy married the Charlie girl. I was so jealous.
Some big ones coming in from the text line that
Thank
I can't
you.
believe we forgot. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Mikey likes it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Checks.
I can't believe
No,
it's
likes
not
your-
butter.
I can't believe it's
I
not
can't
butter.
believe. And Jake from State Farm. What are you wearing? What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
I hate those commercials.
Khakis.
It's like
yeah,
a woman
okay.
accusing
Yeah.
her husband of cheating because he's on the phone with Jake from State Farm. But
Yeah.
it's successful.
Oh, one more. Do you guys remember this? The Pace Picante, New York City.
New York City.
Get a rope. I love those ones.
Is that a text or is that one of yours, Paul?
That was a text. One that I liked that was actually recent. We all loved it. Right before IHOP went crazy with this whole IHOP thing, they were running commercials. This is your captain speaking. We're going to be at 20,000 feet, reaching your pancake altitude. Feel free to pancake around the pancakes.
I think I may have hated that.
Oh, it was awesome.
Oh, I think I may have hated that.
Thank you for pancaking.
Yeah, it doesn't make any
pancake.
sense to me at
I'm
all.
pretty sure during every single song and commercial, we all just sat around saying pancakes.
Pancake.
Put a smile on my face.
Tori, is there an ad or marketing campaign you find great?
The OxyClean commercials with Billy Mays.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Yeah.
convinced me. Because you take a dirty shirt and dip it in water and it's clean.
Oh, yeah.
It's spotless.
Isn't he dead?
Yes,
Yeah,
he's
he's
dead.
dead for a
Check
while.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that had to do with
I'd
anything,
still
but he's
buy
dead.
whatever he's selling.
OxyClean?
Yeah.
Would you see his infomercial for OxyContin? Oh, I'd have bought it.
Derek, what's an ad campaign you like?
I don't even know if they still do it, but I always remember it's not delivery, it's
It's
DiGiorno.
DiGiorno,
And then
sure.
I ate a DiGiorno and I said I wish it was delivery. And the other one I liked that I don't think anyone said yet, hey, Mike, what day is it? Mike, what day is it, Mike?
Oh, yeah. I'm watching you do it. I want to hate it, but I remember. It's very funny.
Thanks for all your calls and texts, but it is now time to play Who's the Jimmy?
Who's the Jimmy? Speaking about stupid stuff.
You can win a pair of tickets to see Jimmy Buffett June 23rd at Key Arena. You want to play in the game Who's the Jimmy? This is your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Jimmy Buffett June 23rd at Key Arena. This is how it works. You listen to Danny's clue and you tell us who the Jimmy is that he's talking about. It's that easy. Our contestant is Kim in Centralia.
Oh, yeah, Kim.
Hey, good morning, you guys.
Morning. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I do.
All right. Do you understand the rules of the game?
I do.
Then let us go forward. Who's the Jimmy who started his broadcast career right here in Seattle with his first paid radio gig as co-host of the Me and Him show on this very radio station? The show only lasted less than a year, but he turned it all around, eventually teaming up with a struggling comedian named Adam Carolla and taking a stab at television. Spoiler alert, it worked out very, very, very well for this particular Jimmy. So who is the Jimmy?
Oh, boy, I wish I knew. I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I would have thought, I'd have bet that you did.
I think this one's a little bit on the harder side. That's what
Thank
she
you.
said. Linda Samamish is our next contestant.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Good. Do you have the answer or do you want me to read it again?
Well, I think it might be Jimmy Kimmel.
I think it might be Jimmy Kimmel.
Nice
It's the answer
job,
to Who's
Linda.
the Jimmy?
A lot of people forget that Jimmy Kimmel got his start right here on KZOK.
A lot of people forget that Adam Carolla was ever funny.
Linda and Sammamish, you're going to the Jeep Winners window in our lobby to pick up your tickets to Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band June 23rd at Key Arena. The rest of you can join us again tomorrow at 7:20 for our final round of Who's the Jimmy, and the big news of the day is next. It's Sarah with your filthy forecast. Are you tired of being blown and sprinkled on?
No.
Well, good news for those of you who are, because all this blustery rain has moved on. All I see in our future, big balls of sunshine. Every day a chance of getting some sunshine. 65 for the high today, 68 tomorrow, 75 for Saturday, and we climax at 81 on Sunday.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
What a wickedly wonderful weekend of waiting. I won't keep you waiting. You know I want to put out another forecast for you. See you next time at the best weather front in Seattle. I'm Sarah.
Well, that was just lovely, Sarah. And by the way, be here tomorrow morning. Well, I did not expect that. Be here tomorrow morning, right around the same time, 7:50 or so. And if you can tell us where Sarah's Beaver's been, you can win a pair of tickets to see Dead End Company at the Gorge. You guys should go out. You know, how old am I? You got to go out and get the iHeartRadio app. Like, where are you going to go?
Yeah.
Going to hike a mountaintop?
You got to look it up in the phone book.
And then, do that rotary dial thing that'll go.
Right?
All right. Maybe that's not what I mean. Get the iHeartRadio app. It's got all your favorite music, all your favorite radio stations right there on the iHeartRadio app. Check it out. The new playlist radio with perfect playlist list created for any mood, which I think is very clever. Activity or a moment in your life. Whether you're going to work out, you're going to chill, a dinner party, road trip, and whatever you're up to, there's a free playlist for it. The iHeartRadio app.
There's a story that people have been buzzing about. A posh Connecticut town is telling people they can't put for sale signs outside of their own homes. They think it is an eyesore, that it's making them look bad.
Right.
And the problem is twofold. One, there are more homes up for sale because General Electric just moved out abruptly and kind of left everybody in the lurch.
Right.
But their concern is it looks bad. It doesn't physically look pretty, but also looks bad for the town.
Well, you know what it is, that if you have a smattering, if you will, of for sale signs, this is an active neighborhood with active properties going back. People want to live here. But with that one, when it starts to be a crisis and there's one in every neighborhood, you think this neighborhood is failing.
Yeah. Right. But they're also, on their excuses, well, these are $4 million homes, so if people want this house, it's not like they're just driving around window shopping. They're going to use a realtor.
Right.
But it does seem like a pretty ridiculous rule considering it's your house and your property.
I didn't even understand these things. I thought condos with an HOA and things like that, and I didn't even react well to them. I own this. What are you talking about, a rule?
Yeah.
But I was visiting my mother-in-law before she was even my mother-in-law, and she had this beautiful 2,800 square foot home with a pool, a quarter acre of land, lovely. And some guy in a golf cart pulls up. I'm not kidding. While I'm standing there talking to him, I barely know her, and he says, "Listen, we can't have that brown spot in the middle of your front lawn."
Oh, wow.
And I swear to God, I thought he was kidding. When I realized he wasn't, I reacted. I didn't even know her. And I said, well, what if I lay you out across the brown spot? Will that work? And everybody took it way more seriously than I meant it. I did not mean that. But they can really make you do that. I was looking at property for fun 2 weekends ago in Phoenix, Arizona. And I said, well, could I put a carport up to keep my car out of the sun? She said, oh, no, you can't leave your car in the driveway. You have to pull it into the the garage every night.
Yep.
Who are you?
A lot of the communities, I get that. Those, what do they call it? Like that
Rules, I think is what they call it.
No. But if you are on in a gated community, they've got a really big strict of rules. What was surprising about this is it's a town.
Yeah.
That's like the city of Seattle saying you cannot put a for sale sign up. It was a city mandate.
Yeah, it's not a neighborhood association.
Right.
It's an entire city.
Yeah. Which just seemed really weird, but it kind of made me think about you, Danny. Rules, like
everything does. It's okay.
You think a lot of rules are pretty ridiculous.
I do. I really do.
But my knee-jerk reaction thinking about you was the 3-second rule. Or the 5-second rule.
So I think does the 5-second rule exist for civilized people where a piece of bologna falls on your kitchen floor?
Ew.
I thought it was the 5-second rule.
I thought it was the 3-second rule.
Oh, okay.
And I have a
Either one.
5-second rule for drinks where if you can suck it up with a straw before it actually goes down the drain. Either way, I don't obey that rule. That's
You find that rule pretty ridiculous.
I do.
Right?
I find a lot of rules stupid. Keep off the grass of any kind. I find stupid.
Yeah.
Beware a dog if you don't have a dog. Although now I'm out on a limb with these rules. But yes, I find a lot of rules intrusive.
Well, you guys listening, what rule do you find just ridiculous? Share your story. Let us know your opinion by calling 800-252-1025 or text in to 90627.
There's a town, a very rich town in Connecticut, where people are saying it's a ridiculous rule. What is the rule again? You can't have a for sale sign in your own yard?
Nope,
You
not at
cannot
all.
have
All right.
any kind of for sale sign in your own yard.
All right. What rule do you find ridiculous? 1-800-252-1025. That's the phone number. Text is 90627.
Let's start with our friend Yo in Olympia.
Hey, yo.
Hey, how's it going, you people?
So, what do you mean, you people? What do you got for us?
Well, like wearing white after Labor Day fashion rules, who made that up? I want to wear what I want to wear when I want to wear it.
Which is mostly nothing, right?
Because she's got her top down. But is that ever a real thing that's kind of enforced, or do they just shame you?
You are shamed.
That's crazy.
I think it was Emily Post who started.
Well, I'm not even going to eat her cereal anymore.
What about Farmer Ted? What is a rule you find ridiculous?
Hey, Farmer Ted.
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
We're good. What do you got for us?
Hey, I'm on board with you with HOAs. They got some silly rules and they just go nuts.
They do.
I bought this condo about a little over a year ago, and just before summer started, it's so incredibly hot. I bought a window air conditioning unit, right?
Yeah.
So I'm reading the rules and regulations of the condo saying uniformity.
Oh, did we lose Farmer Ted? Because
Yeah.
I can help him out. I'm well aware of this rule because I bought a very expensive condo in New York City when I first moved there.
Yeah.
And they started telling me all sorts of rules. And this place, like I said, was hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they said they came and got me because I didn't notice. I just put in, you can't put a window air conditioning in.
Oh,
But they
yeah.
didn't have, because it was a pre-war building or post-war building, I don't know. But you couldn't put any other kind of air conditioning in. It was
Yeah.
terrible.
But it's an eyesore
Yeah.
to have it hanging out your window.
I don't necessarily disagree with that. It is
Yeah,
kind
it's
of an
just
eyesore.
annoying.
But they should put in
hot.
air then.
Right.
Well, I'm getting mad right now.
Mike in Rented texted into 90627. His HOA required him to give a dog poop sample so they could do DNA testing. Anytime there's dog poop not picked up on the lawn,
Wow.
they send it off for DNA.
I would say,
testing.
who is that that texted that?
Mike in Rented.
I would usually say liar, liar, pants on fire,
But he's
Mike.
not.
But we had that thing on the news
Yeah.
where they made you give a stool sample, if you will, for your dog. That's crazy.
You have nothing better to spend your HOA fee money on.
Right.
I mean, analyzing number 2. Josh and Puyallup, what is a rule you find ridiculous?
Howdy.
Howdy.
So this is a story I'm relaying from my dad's experience in the Navy. When he was in Norfolk, Virginia, so he was walking down the sidewalk, and he noticed a sign. And it's one of those signs where you see it says pets keep off the grass and everything.
Yeah.
He saw sailors and pets keep off the grass.
How is that even possible? How is that legal?
Crazy.
Norfolk do not like sailors and Navy personnel down there. I don't know why. They just hate them.
100 years
downright hate
ago,
them.
100 years ago, it was not that rare to see in England and even in the boroughs of New York to see a sign for houses that you could rent or rooms to rent, and it would say "No dogs, no Irish."
Yep.
Now I've seen pictures of that exists.
Yeah.
Josh, what did your dad do? Do you know?
He just kept walking.
He did. I would have walked on that grass just because it told me not to.
Yeah, because I
Oh,
would
yeah.
imagine it's a law. I can't think that they can
not.
arrest you.
Rob in Louisville, what's a rule you find ridiculous?
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Well, about a year ago, I bought a camping trailer, and I got it in my driveway, and I was pretty much using it like a man cave or whatever. And the zoning people came by and told me I couldn't have it plugged in, I couldn't go in it. Basically, it's just sitting there doing nothing now.
Yeah, I could have bet you money that was going to happen because it depends on how you live. You know, I've looked at real estate all over the world. It's one of my favorite things. If you have a dedicated driveway and then you can put your RV behind the gate, yes. If it's your own private driveway, in most of the world, they're going to tell you can't have it in front of your house.
I went to look at a house here in Seattle, and the next door neighbors had a camper that clearly just lived there. I'm like, I can't live like that, just
No.
looking at somebody's camper 24/7. And Danny, you wanted to do that for a while, right? You wanted to get is it Airstream or a Jetstream, and you wanted it to be your man cave. And your wife put the foot down on that one.
To be honest with you, I got the idea from Brad Pitt,
Yep.
who
Oh,
lived
yeah.
in a giant mansion but still had his Airstream in the back where he would go and smoke pot and
Yeah.
hang out and get away from his kids.
We all want to do it. We just don't want our neighbors to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, fair enough.
What's a rule you find ridiculous? Meg in Historic Kent.
Hey, Meg.
Well, I don't know how you guys feel. How are you this morning?
We're wonderful. Thank you for asking. What do you got for us?
Well, I don't know how you guys feel, but when I'm riding my bike, I would still rather see a car coming towards me than have it sneak up behind me.
I agree
as I'm riding.
100%. I agree 100% right on the opposite side because I ride my bike around a crazy city of Seattle, man, and I can hear death imminent every second that a car is going to hit me and clip me, and that's it. If I was on the other side of the street riding on a bicycle built for two in Kent with Meg, you get to see what's happening.
Yeah, right.
I think that's a good one. I think Meg's absolutely right.
A rule I find pretty ridiculous. Wine before liquor, never sicker. Liquor before wine, you're feeling fine. Total shenanigans.
Wow, you scared me right there. That's not what I thought you were going to say. Yeah, red sky at morning, sailor take warning. Red sky at night, sailor take flight. Nah, when it's going to kill you, it's going to kill you. Yeah. That's what that means.
Well, no, I do believe in that rule, but the alcohol rule, people say, oh, I'm so hungover today because I had wine after I did this. Like, no, you're hungover because you had 8 glasses of wine and 3
That's
shots
exactly
of tequila.
One of our
Paul?
texters had to get permission from their HOA to paint their house the same color that it already was. They were just repainting
Yeah.
it, same color, touching up the paint. They had to get permission from the HOA.
Okay.
Because you're going to be an eyesore with painters outside.
I guess.
Here's a good rule, but I don't always obey it, and it's just a mistake to come up and tell me your personal opinion, and that is the bicycle helmet rule. If I'm not going to wear
Find that ridiculous?
if I find it ridiculous that you might come up and speak to me about it,
Mm.
and I think after you do it, you're going to find it ridiculous too, because I don't react well to that.
Dave in Federal Way, good morning.
Hey, Dave.
Half a day from Guam, guys. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, the rule, no kissing, touching, or fooling around on the first date. Who made up that ridiculous rule?
Some girl. some girl's dad.
Chicks, man.
Paul, what's your opinion?
Radio stations in Canada are required to play a 35% of Canadian content, at least 35% Canadian content. So that means, like, if they're a music station, every third song has to be Bryan Adams or Alanis Morissette.
Or Nickelback.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous.
You know what? They do very similar stuff in other countries, man.
Yeah,
like
required
in Germany,
by law.
you're not going to even hear any English in Germany on their TV or on their radio. They just don't do
Except
it.
for Michael Jackson. For some reason, they love Michael Jackson.
Well, that's weird of them, but they're
And David Hasselhoff.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy. All right, how about this one? You can't bring your own booze on a cruise ship.
Yeah, why
That's
not?
crazy because, first of all, it's all digital, so they know that I started drinking at 8:30, and I don't want them to know that. And it's $12 a drink. I don't want to pay that all the time.
Yeah.
Tori, what's a rule you find ridiculous?
It's illegal to hit a vending machine that stole your money in Derby, Kansas.
It is? Just when I thought I loved Kansas.
I know, right?
And Derek, what's a rule you find ridiculous?
Any venue that has a no re-entry policy, because you tell me I can't do drugs in your venue, and then you won't let me go outside to do them either?
No,
That's
you're
just
right.
madness.
You're absolutely right, man. They make you go outside to smoke cigarettes. They're taunting you, Derek.
Thanks for your calls and texts. The news is next. News is brought to you by Les Schwab. Authorities say 47 people in Washington state were arrested as part of a nationwide operation to identify and disrupt those who produce, trade, and view online images and videos of children being assaulted. More than 2,300 people were arrested across the country as part of Operation Broken Heart.
How is that a thing? And not that I'm above anybody who's a pervert or anything. Well, I'm above a child guy. But just how do you not know you're getting caught?
Yeah.
That you can't view, you can't download images of an 11-year-old. Just how do you not know the feds are not going to come to your house? I guess I'm glad you're stupid because you're getting some of that off the street.
Right.
But it just seems everything about it. I can't believe it exists anymore.
So 47 people in Washington. We had 24 in Seattle. Across the country, more than 2,300 people. This was a 3-month operation in all 50 states, targeting peer-to-peer networks to facilitate the sharing of images of abuse. And, you know, you ask, like, how do they not know they're going to get caught? How many times have we heard of these stings? And there's still more people out there. It's just horrific.
I remember do you remember the Tracy Lords debacle?
That she claimed to be under, they thought she was
Tracy
underage and she
Lords was
wasn't?
this blonde, buxom porn star. You know, she was a very popular porn star. And then it turned out somehow that she was 17, got into the porn business when she was 15, but is doing big production pornography. And it turned out now, the second somebody found out she was 17, it was all child porn. Feds running in out of Blockbuster or wherever they were renting anything with her image on it. It was like really crazy.
Kent police are investigating a shooting that killed a 25-year-old man early this morning at the Summerwalk Villa Apartments. The suspect is still on the loose. We have not gotten any updated information about this suspect, but unfortunately, the person who got shot did not survive. And the search continues for a gunman who terrorized drivers near SeaTac Airport. This was a gunman who they believe was somewhere along a tree line shooting at vehicles at random. They said that nobody was injured, which they also don't believe anybody was specifically targeted, and they are looking for the perpetrator.
I wonder if any of those people that may not have believed in God, because we're kind of a hedonist state, they just didn't have a real opinion on it one way or the other. There's a bullet hole right in front of where their face was, and they didn't get hurt. I wonder who many went, hallelujah, thanks. I knew you were looking out for me, because I would, or I'd do something about. That's crazy that nobody was hurt in that.
Now, would you say they're the luckiest people in the world? Or
No.
is it still the person who didn't get shot at?
They still got their window broken. That's kind of a hassle. You got to get that replaced.
The Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife say a man caught a huge channel catfish in Green Lake.
How big was it?
No way. When, do you know?
Saturday.
I was at Green Lake on Saturday. I was walking around it.
Were you fishing?
No, and I'm going to be.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have a friend that fishes there all the time. When you walk around, when you do the lap, you'll see no more than 20 and as little as 3 people. They've got their chairs and their ice chests. It looks awesome, but I don't think they really caught anything.
Well, he claims to have caught a catfish weighing a little more than 36 pounds.
That's a big catfish.
Yeah, it is.
Let's say they brought catfish to Green Lake back in 2005, then again in 2011 and 2014.
All right.
Live for more than 20 years. Brown and rainbow trout are also found in Green Lake.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't believe I have not fished there. When I walk around all the time and see the fishermen, I just thought they were kidding themselves, wasting a day.
Is that why you haven't done it? You think they weren't actually catching anything?
Yeah, I did. I didn't go, hey, let me go right out to this man-made lake. It's a man-made lake, isn't it?
I think so.
In the just no, there's no fish in that.
I'm not sure if it's man-made.
Yeah, me either. But they're apparently, and I've even heard the news about them restocking it with us.
I just told you that.
See, I was listening because I've heard that news.
Was there a picture of him with his 26-pound catfish?
36.
36
He
pound
claimed
catfish,
it was 45.
Oh, see? That's what
But
I'm
then
saying.
somebody
is
weighed it.
Somebody tells a story. They're a fisherman. You never really know. Is there a
Right.
picture?
There is a picture, but Fish and Wildlife say it's a little more than 36 pounds.
Still gigantic for a
Yes.
catfish in this neighborhood.
It is still huge.
I got a 12-pounder, God, I don't know how many years ago, but a lot. Oh, I was in Philly the first time around, so around 1990, 91 or anything. And I'm reeling it in thinking it's some kind of major mistake Loch Ness thing that I found. It flipped me out, and it was 12 pounds. And,
Yeah.
I thought it was the biggest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
3 of those?
Okay, so let me clarify. I've just figured this out. The state record for the largest channel catfish was caught in Yakima County.
Yakima!
1999. That catfish weighed a little more than 36.
Well, now you got to go fishing in Yakima.
This dude claims his was 45 pounds.
Bigger than the record breaker in Yakima.
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go to Yakima tomorrow after the show, and I'll get a bigger one.
Yeah, you're putting fishing on your agenda?
No, because right now I just added meditating on a mountaintop as a thing to do while in Yakima.
Oh, I'm seeing the picture now, and this is a massive catfish.
Yep.
It's a trick, though. Do you know the fisherman's trick?
No, what do they do?
I think you do know because I think you mentioned it. You take a fish that you've caught, right?
Yeah.
And then you put it in your 2 hands like this, like you're going to take a picture. Then you go, oh, no, wait. And you put your arms out at full extension.
Oh, hold it
and
out.
it looks twice the size. now.
Yeah.
I do that with my one
Except
of
I
mine.
think he's holding his vertically.
He is holding it, yeah, and it's almost as big as him, and he's not a small guy.
Yeah.
It
A
probably doesn't-
36-pound fish is almost as big as that
I
guy,
mean,
Paul.
just like lengthwise, yeah.
There's a very cool job opening.
He
that
weighs more than the fish. Just to
that
be
Paul
clear.
might want to hear about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whatever it is, I'm interested.
I just thought he was an idiot. I don't want him fired.
Actually, I don't think this is the job for Paul. It is certainly not a job for Amy
What?
Bonaduce.
Does it take kindness and understanding?
I have great people skills.
No, this is a job you could do in solitude. They are searching for not one, not two, but 170 people. They are hiring 170 courageous employees to clean the 176 tons of glass that were added to the redesign of the Space Needle. 20,000 square feet of glass that has to be cleaned every day.
Every day?
Every day.
Wow, every day?
Every day? Because I saw the
Not every
story.
day.
I saw a story and they said on the news, when we come back, it's a new job and they've got a Space Needle in the back. And they said, but you've got to be courageous. And I went, it's washing the windows outside.
Yeah.
That's the job for the courageous and stupid. Inside's just, busy work.
According to Paul Best, who leads the Space Needle's glass
I've got Paul
keeping
Best.
Yeah, I'm right here, Sarah.
All the towers' recently installed glass is located 500 feet in the air or higher, which will require my team to reach, climb, and crawl on more than 300 panels of glass to keep the floor-to-ceiling views pristine for every guest. It is a minimum wage job that is not for the faint of heart.
So wait, a diner gets up and leaves and they re-clean that floor?
No, that's why it's every day, though.
Every day.
Every day.
For every guest?
Every day.
Every guest.
I just thought the way you were saying it, that they had to clean it like literally as people come and go. But
That was a quote.
before opening and after closing.
That was a quote that said, will
That was a quote?
require my team to
What's that?
reach, climb, and crawl more than 300 panels of glass to keep it pristine for every guest.
Every guest.
Yeah. Well, you're not just making that up. It must
Every
be a
guest.
quote.
It's a quote.
I hate
Yeah.
all you
Every
people.
day.
Is it Friday?
I know what that
It
means.
sure feels
you all.
like it.
In national news, the Federal Reserve has hiked the short-term interest rate a quarter of a percentage point to the range of 1.75 to 2%, and suggested 2 more increases are likely to occur this year, making a total of 4 for this year. This rate is closely tied to adjustable rate loans, such as home equity lines of credit and credit cards. They said the bigger threat at this stage is inflation. The Fed anticipates inflation will be up to 2.1% in 2019, which is more than the targeted rate of 2%. This is the 7th time the Fed has hiked rates in the past 3 years. It's part of a process to slow return rates to normal levels. So they said the U.S. economy, while is in great shape, that they still need to make some adjustments. Elon Musk started a company that to many sounded a little bit like a joke. His tunnels that he's planning on making to shoot people through it at super speeds.
758 miles an hour. So it says. I think the one that sounded like it might be a joke was the flamethrowers.
And that's not, people have been enjoying that for the past week.
And that's the same company. The company that makes the tunnels is selling the flamethrowers.
Correct.
Yeah, the boring company.
Yeah.
Correct.
And not only are they moving people at 700 and whatever miles an hour, they're doing it with magnets.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the plan.
Well, he just got one step closer to making this a reality.
It's amazing.
Now, Tesla has just landed a huge deal to build an underground transit system from downtown Chicago to O'Hare Airport. They plan to build 2 tunnels from the shell of a never completed transit station. This will be all through the Boring Company. Under the broad strokes, riders would pay $25 to zip through the tunnels to and from the airport in electric passenger cars, or skates is what they're calling them.
I'm not doing it if I have to take skates.
The trip would take 12 minutes, 4 times faster than any existing transportation.
And that's if everything's going your way. The
Yeah.
traffic in Chicago is terrible, especially to the airport.
Well, this is underground, so you
Right,
might
that's
not-
what I'm saying. It's way more than 12 times.
Yeah, so you'd, but they say it's 12 minutes, but 4 times faster than any kind of transportation that exists on Earth. But Elon Musk can make it happen. And then, of course, he plans on building the Hyperloop between D.C. and New York, and a similar system in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and then Portland, Seattle too, right?
No mention of Portland and Seattle. That's
Can't
like,
leave us off.
That's like 8th on the list.
And these are all just going to go to airports?
Yep.
All right. It's still cool. I hate driving to the airport.
Well, the one that he wants to do on the East Coast is between Washington, D.C. and New York City, which
Right.
is presently about a 5-hour train ride. But for him, it'll be 5 minutes. Sotheby's says they'll be auctioning off a set of natural pearls that once belonged to the famed Marie Antoinette.
Oh, because that necklace must have just fallen off.
French Queen Marie Antoinette. These pearls have not been seen in public for centuries, and there is an auction that is set to take place. Now, she was guillotined way in the olden days, but
surprisingly not that old of days. It was right around the Revolution of 1776 here. Right around then, they cut her head off.
She was guillotined during the French Revolution, and there are a lot of images of her where she's wearing pearls, but these ones have not been seen in 200 years. So this collection is going up for auction. They believe one piece, which is a diamond pendant and natural pearl, will fetch $2 million.
You know, mostly I think the really super rich waste their money, but they have nothing else to do with it. If I was one of the super rich and there's a brooch that was on Marie Antoinette's gown or something, and it was the real one, I'd so buy. That'd be cool.
Yeah, what would you do with it? Just display it, or would you wear it around?
I would get drunk and give it to some chick I didn't know. Of course, that's the old Danny.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about pearls just a few days ago because the world's largest freshwater pearl was sold at auction. So I did a little bit of research, and it turns out the most valuable pearls in the world are South Sea pearls that are known as the Rolls-Royce of pearls.
Well, but they get terrible gas mileage.
They range from $1,000 to more than $100,000. Next up on the most valuable list for pearls are Tahitian pearls.
Yeah.
Which are black or gray.
Oh, so it's Pearl Bailey. Oh, that was huge.
Those range from $500 to $25,000. Then Akoya pearls, and then freshwater pearls. They say those are the most versatile of all pearls, and those are like $50 to $2,000.
Right.
So you could spend $2 million or $50.
Yeah, you could.
If you're thinking about a special gift for Father's Day, you might want to get started because it's on Sunday. And here's an idea for you from the Post Oak Hotel in Houston. It's a special pampering package for Papa. You get a stay in the presidential suite. This is a 5,000 square foot suite.
Wow.
Private cabana. A massage. You get to go to the Houston Astros game. You get a $500 bar tab. A private chef at a steakhouse.
I hope Jellybean's listening.
Yeah.
Busting out her wallet.
$500 bar tab. That's good for what? The whole afternoon.
Right.
You get a helicopter ride from the airport to the hotel. And
where do you land?
You can land on top of the hotel.
You can?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. You also get a Scotch on the Rocks pedicure, private whiskey or beer tasting, and some loafers. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal, right?
Sounds like Derek.
I wonder how deep Jellybean's wallet is, because this will set her back $25,000.
But I get to keep the loafers?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, you're in.
She didn't need to go to college.
Japanese lawmakers passed a new law yesterday, lowering the age of legal adulthood from 20 to 18.
Wow.
This is in an effort to fight the country's growing demographic crisis. They got a lot of old folk in Japan.
I don't understand what that does, though, for your country to lower the age from 21 to 18.
Yeah, I don't
How does
know.
that relieve stuff?
Presently, you cannot get married unless you are over adult age, unless
Which is
you've
21.
got, which is 20.
20.
It is now 18. So they're hoping that people will get married younger and start procreating and make some young people, because this country is full of old people. Japan's population shrank for the 7th consecutive year to 127 million, and more than 7% of those are over 65.
Wow, my goodness gracious.
And they said it looks like that's going to then double, and there'll be a super aged society.
An old tsunami. Wait, no, a tsunami of old. There we go.
Yeah, they're really concerned that there are going to be way too many old people and not enough young people. And there's nobody to take care of those old folk. And they live till they're 120.
Yeah.
They do. The Japanese live a long time.
I think that's the problem. Start taking away that fish oil and stuff. You'd solve it.
A dog fighter? No. A firefighter.
Wow, totally different.
A firefighter in Minnesota went through a whole lot to get a big dog named Whiskey off of the roof. It was a big old hairy, lovable, slobbery St. Bernard.
How do you get up on the roof?
So imagine the front door And the front door, instead of having like a portico, instead of it being a round shape, it had like a little balcony. Well, it climbed out the window, got himself down the roof onto the top of this little balcony over the front door, and then could not get himself back. So there are a lot of pictures and video of this huge dog.
I don't think you can replace the raccoon that I see everywhere still.
No, the raccoon is adorable. They did wind up, by the way, letting that raccoon go. I thought for sure it had rabies. It didn't.
Yeah, no, they let it go in the woods.
But no, this dog had to get rescued by the fire department, which is kind of cute because normally it's a cat in a tree.
Yeah, it totally is.
Is it going viral, though? Because I got a St. Bernard. I'll put her on the roof if
you should.
If we can get some attention out of it.
Your dog is so bewildered right now. Your St. Bernard's very confused.
She's doing better, thank you
Is
very
she?
much. Yeah, she spent like 4 days of being blind, and then now she seems fine. The vets couldn't figure it out. They're like,
Okay.
it doesn't appear to be anything wrong with
Here's
her.
what you're telling me.
Yeah.
You're telling me that your big dog went blind.
Yeah, for
and the
4 days.
doctor said, I can't figure out why. Your dog's not fine. Your dog's crazy.
Did you rename your dog Stevie Wonder?
But she seems totally fine now. She either adapted very quickly to her total blindness, or
So you think she might still be blind?
or she just got over it. I don't think so. She's not acting blind.
Because my sister went hysterically blind one time when she was a teenager.
Yeah.
For like 5 days and said anyway that she couldn't see anything. I kind of never believed her, but I didn't want to call Celia a liar. She'll kill you.
Apparently it happens. Your sister, my dog.
My dog.
Yeah.
Hysterical blindness.
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
What'd you do to that dog?
Nothing.
That is the news. It's brought to you by Les Schwab, but we do have music news. We have entertainment. We have sports. And Tori is going to tell us about all the new music in stores tomorrow. Next. Former Pink Floyd drummer Nick Mason will release a solo box set called Unattended Luggage that will be released on August 31st. This collection includes 1981's Fictitious Sports, 85's Profiles, which features David Gilmour, and plenty of other stuff because it's a box set.
And who is this?
This is Nick Mason from Pink Floyd.
Right. And what did he do in Pink Floyd?
Drummer?
Drummer.
Yes.
Tori's
Okay.
Yes.
I was just wondering about the unattended luggage thing. I wonder if his drum set showed up somewhere it shouldn't have.
Oh, yeah.
That would
make sense.
But then you think about great song titles and stuff and album covers, and you're just wrong. Like, I've become comfortably numb. Pink Floyd, right?
Yeah.
And it's because he went to his dentist and he had a thing of Novocaine. The doctor said, "Hey, let me know when you're comfortably numb." And he said, "Oh, I've become totally untrue. That's not what happened."
No?
No.
I've never heard that story.
I thought
You never heard that story?
No.
Oh, wow.
I just assumed that he drank himself until he was comfortably.
Well, the famous story was that he went to the dentist, so it's
Oh.
not that deep. But it's wrong, so maybe
made
you're
up.
right about what it is.
Well, speaking of box sets, we have new music in stores tomorrow because tomorrow's Friday.
I know what that means.
I just told you what it means.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's how we know.
She's getting snippy. You notice that?
Tori's going to give us a scoop. There are some really interesting releases coming out, including something from the Rolling Stones. What's the story, Tori?
All right, so this is the Rolling Stones, but this is actually a Buddy Guy album. It's called The Blues is Alive and Well and features Jeff Beck, Mick Jagger, and Keith Richards.
Very cool.
I actually knew about this one.
Yeah, this looks really cool. It's a follow-up to his record, Born to Play Guitar from 2015. The track that's playing now is called Cognac, and it features Beck and Richards.
Neat. Let's hear it.
This kind of stuff makes my heart hurt. I barely have a G chord under control, and they can do this.
It is pretty ridiculous.
I think it's really cool to see rock stars pay homage to, legends like Buddy Guy because most rock and roll is based off of blues and the Delta blues.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this one.
All right, so the Buddy Guy is coming out featuring some of the Rolling Stones, but don't all of the Rolling Stones have something coming out?
Yes, so the Rolling Stones are releasing Rolling Stones The Studio Albums Vinyl Collection 1971 to 2016.
Whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah, I
It's a
know.
lot of vinyl.
This is a massive box set, individually numbered, includes 15 albums remastered and cut at half speed by engineers at Abbey Road Studios.
What's that mean?
Basically, it's going to be instead of 33 rounds per minute, it's 44 rounds per minute. It's going to sound a lot better, better velocity.
And this is where I'm stupid again. Are there record players with those settings? Mine's got a 33 and maybe a 45 and a 78.
Yes, that would. So you could play this. it would sound really, really good. You'd have to change, you'd have to get an adapter to play a 45.
Well, there's some smart marketing, if you ask me. Maybe go out and buy another thing. These guys are U2 in reverse.
I'm even more clueless than you because I think it sounds like they're going to slow the songs down. They're not slowing the songs down, right?
No, they're making them faster.
Oh, they make the songs faster?
They make the songs faster?
They change the speed
The
of the
rotation's
songs?
faster.
Yeah, but it's going to sound the same but clearer.
So Keith Richards is one of the chipmunks. Kind of makes me laugh enough to spend some money with.
So you'll get some of my personal favorites like Sticky Fingers and Exile on Main Street, which are their more bluesy albums. And this is going to set you back $450.
Whoa. What? Yeah, no, that's rock and roll.
Yeah.
All right, we've also got something from the Allman Brothers, another set. What's coming up from them?
So they're releasing the Allman Brothers Band Peach Picks Cream of the Crop 2003. It's a 4-disc set. This is a 36-track collection of songs from 6 Allman Brothers shows from 2003.
Oh, as Danny says, I'm in line.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in line for this one.
Oh, yeah, this looks good. It's a set. It was produced by Warren Haynes, who joined the lineup in 1989 as lead guitar.
Yeah, and I wear his underwear.
Oh, yeah. There you go. So this record features original members Greg Allman and Butch Trucks, who both have passed. There's so many incredible songs on this set. Midnight Riders, Stormy Monday, Statsboro Blues, Whipping Post, you name it.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah. Looking forward to that.
Me too.
Danny wears his underwear.
So we've got something coming out, I think a couple of things that are Alice Cooper related, right?
Yeah, so Co-op, a band fronted by Alice Cooper's son Dash, is releasing their first album.
Oh, right.
So this is one track. This is the only track I could find online. They sound basically like a cookie cutter alt rock band. Hinder, 3 Days Grace, those vibes.
Alt still stands for alternative, right?
Yes.
How the hell can you have a cookie cutter alternative? If it's alternative, it can't be a cookie cutter.
It's become its own genre.
Oh, I can totally hear what you're talking about.
Yeah.
me too.
October, 3 Days Grace.
It's Nickelback all over again.
Buck Cherry. So he's got a good voice, but lacks the real like cool factor like his dad. I don't think there's anything like earth shattering here.
Let's hear it. Sounds like so many other
Yeah, but I
creepy
mean,
bands.
if you're looking for commercial success, not a bad cookie cutter to
Not a
use.
bad cookie cutter to you, absolutely. And who's ever singing? Is that Dash?
Yes, that is.
You know, it's a nice scream.
Yeah.
It's a nice rock and roll shout.
So I do see something else that involves Alice Cooper. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is totally different. Jesus Christ Superstar live in concert is coming out on DVD. This includes Alice because he played King Herod in this live televised adaptation of Jesus Christ Superstar.
Is this him right here?
This is him.
All right, let's hear it.
Water into wine.
And Danny, you were a fan of this version?
Yeah, I thought it was good. I don't think it beats the original,
Right.
but I think it was good. I thought Alice Cooper was good.
I have not seen the film yet, but fans seem to really love Alice in this. Someone tweeted, Alice Cooper hasn't even started singing and he's stealing the show. Someone said, oh my God, Alice Cooper, I'm loving this. He's edgier, less flamboyant, but just as campy.
Awesome.
All right.
So that's the DVD of Jesus Christ Superstar Live.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
All right, cool. All right, anything else, Tori?
There's a Tom Waits reissue. Johnny Marr from The Smiths has another solo album. Nick Lowe and The Killers and tons more that I'll post at KZOK.com.
Cool, thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Tori. I want to remind you guys that our iHeartRadio Music Festival is back. It happens at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, September 21st and 22nd. So many different performers, including Justin Timberlake, Fleetwood Mac, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Tickets are on sale to the general public tomorrow morning at 10, but there is a pre-sale happening right now for Capital One cardholders. Go to iHeartRadio.com/Capital One and get those tickets. But again, the general on sale is tomorrow at 10. There is something y'all might remember from the 90s called Gargoyles.
Sure.
Yeah.
It was an animated Disney series, Gargoyles, centered upon a group of medieval creatures who ride in Scotland in the year 994. And a curse leaves them encased in stone for 1,000 years. Their statues are moved to New York City where the curse is broken.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, me too.
I think there were trading cards.
I
too.
watched it all the time.
Well, they would like you to watch it again And Jordan Peele from Get Out fame and Key and Peele fame.
Yeah.
He is being considered for the project. He wants to make it a live action movie.
You know, it's funny. I bet if you asked him, he's the one that's thinking about doing it. They're not the ones thinking about doing him.
Right,
He won an Academy Award right out of the box.
Yeah.
You know what's the weird thing about gargoyles?
What's that?
Do you remember watching them, Paul?
Yeah.
You'll be shocked by this, I bet. Did you know that gargoyles don't fly?
Yeah, but...
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I thought that was earth-shattering when I found that out.
But they seem like they should. They have wings, right?
No, they glide. They go all over the place. They flap their wings. You can't tell me they're not flying. But
So they're like
technically-
flying squirrels.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but way better at it.
Oprah Winfrey will serve as godmother of the New Holland America ship called the New Statendom.
Oh, that's catchy.
She recorded a video with her pal Gail King, and she remembered, when we sailed to Alaska last year, it was so fun. Let's sail again. This will be a 3-day girls' getaway that will sail on a new ship from Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Oh, this is a real cruise. I thought she recorded the thing as being a partner in the cruise line.
She's doing a cruise.
Wow.
Yep. She's going to christen the vessel, and as part of that, announced her own tour that will have conversations with Oprah, all sorts of events that are hosted by her and her staff, Gail King. Strange story circulating about The Rock. Dwayne.
What The Rock is cooking.
I've said that for years, and that's the first time I've actually heard it.
Oh, really?
I just knew he said it.
Yeah.
He always thought it was, do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
What?
Not do you
Smell.
I feel like Joe from Mike Stevens.
What's happening?
The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, is an all-around American treasure, but things were almost very different. He revealed this week that his dream was to be a CIA agent. He said, "My dream in college, the goal was to work for the CIA. That was until my criminal justice professor and advisor convinced me that the best operative I could become for the agency is also one that has a law degree. I realized law school, not for me."
You are a short-haired, 7 feet, 500-pound piece of steaming, stinking, grade A monkey crap.
Okay, I don't know what I was going to say because that was just so... I didn't know he said any of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. That's awesome.
I object, Your Honor.
A big stinking pile of monkey poop, or whatever he said.
Well, he realized his grades weren't great, that the chances of him getting into a good law school would never happen. The CIA was likely a pipe dream. So he went to the University of Miami in Florida. He then went to play football for the Calgary Stampeders.
Oh, those guys.
Out of Alberta, Canada.
Yeah.
He was cut, didn't play football all that well, and then he, of course, became a professional wrestler and now king of the world.
Yeah.
The jabroni beating, now pie-eating, trailblazing, eyebrow-raising, stronger than a bear, faster than a buck, the biggest thing to hit Canada because the Maple Leafs suck.
Whoa!
Yeah, apparently he was a villain that year.
Yeah.
And by the way, does everybody that does anything like that owe $5 to Hulk Hogan?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Absolutely, right? Now I realize what I was going to say. Who wants a 6'5" bald-headed, super muscled spy? Everybody go, well, he's right there in the corner. He's the giant guy.
He's not blending in very
I can
well.
smell what he's cooking. It's espionage.
Actress Rebel Wilson had a defamation case. She was awarded $3.6 million for this libel payout. Somebody had said she was a different age, that she was a habitual liar, lying about her age all the time, so she sued. She was awarded $3.6 million, except that judgment was appealed, and this morning those damages were reduced to $450,000.
Still not nothing. I'd take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she was...
Did she do this stuff? Is that why it was reduced by so much?
No, they said that she says she lost out on 2 film roles because this magazine portrayed her wrongly as a habitual liar. And they said, yeah, we're not sure that we can really say that's why you didn't get those roles. But you do deserve some money because we lied about you. So here's $500,000.
All right. Yeah, I'll take it. If everybody that lied about me had to give me $500,000, I'd be very rich.
I'm going to guess I'd rather the $3.5 million, but $500,000's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's take a look at sports. Sports brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. That's 1-800-DUI-AWAY. Your Seattle Mariners continue to be red hot.
Yeah,
Mitch Haniger, 2-run home run in the ninth. And that gave the Mariners an 8-6 victory. A sweep of the Los Angeles Angels.
Say it again. That's so fun to say.
I don't think I've ever said
Angels.
it before.
Yeah.
A sweep of the Los Angeles. Has that ever happened before?
Even when the Angels were on fire and Mike Trout's bat was hot, there were a ton of home runs in this series.
Yep.
And still the Mariners win.
Well, technically, if you like, that even if they do very, very well, I'll just say that we swept them because it's a fun thing to say. It gets a good reaction from you guys.
They've got a series coming up against the Red Sox, and
Swept
you could
them.
say, swept the Angels. Then when they play the Yankees next, swept the Angels.
Nelson Cruz, Ryan Healy also homered for Seattle.
Yeah.
And up next, it is a tough series, but it's at home, which certainly helps. 4-game series against the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah.
Felix Hernandez versus David Price.
Cheaters.
So we've got 4 games against the Red Sox and then
our next 10 games are against the Red Sox and the Yankees. We played the Red Sox for a series, then the Yankees, then back to the Red Sox again. So,
all right, it's a tough one, but the Mariners look awesome.
Absolutely.
Turns out home runs are a good thing, so keep doing that.
Yeah.
In soccer action, the Sounders were defeated by the Red Bulls 2-1. Up next, the Chicago Fire.
But the good thing about the Sounders, even though they did lose, swept the Angels.
Swept the Angels. I don't know if you know that.
Hey, this year's World Cup is now underway with Russia taking on Saudi Arabia. The match started about an hour ago. Derek, where does that match stand right now?
Currently, we are in the 56th minute of action, and Russia is leading the game 2-0 on goals by Yuri Gazinski and Denis Cheryshev.
The big thing about the Russian team is that they swept the Angels.
It's so weird. They're
you,
out there on their skates, too.
Yeah, wild.
Tomorrow night, the Storm play the Connecticut Sun at 7, and some sad news from the world of the WNBA and the Seattle Storm. Ann Donovan, the former coach and Basketball Hall of Famer, has died at the age of 56. She helped the Seattle Storm win a title in the WNBA back in 2004. She became the first female coach and the youngest person to ever do so. So the team paying some nice homage to her. A sad passing of Ann Donovan. Sports this morning brought to you by Bradley Johnson Attorneys. If you're facing a DUI, call 1-800-DUI-AWAY. You heard Tori talk about all the new music that is in stores tomorrow. That's up at KZOK.com. And right next to Tori, I've got a brand new beer blog. And my beer blog is brought to you by 210 Brewing Company at Angel of the Winds Casino Resort.
Neat.
They've got their own brewery, but they love us so much that they sponsor my beer blog. So KZOK.com to check out all that stuff. Before we hand the reins over to Steve Slayton.
Who, by the way, swept the Angels.
I heard that about him, yeah.
Action-packed show tomorrow. 7:20, giving you another chance to win. What's the name of our game?
Who's the Jimmy?
Who's the Jimmy?
Who's the Jimmy?
Tickets to Jimmy Buffett. And at 7:50, for looking at pictures of my beaver, we are giving you tickets to Dead and Company at the Gorge. Am I missing anything?
No, that's what I know about. Oh, check out the replay of our show, the video replay of our show on our YouTube page.
Oh, and then get the iHeartRadio app, and then get tickets to the show in Vegas.
All of those things.
Yeah.
Wait, so if people do want to watch the show, what do they do?
So that's a new thing that we have the live stream of the video that we do every day on Facebook, but now...
that we're doing right now, right?
Yeah, that's on right now. Hi, guys. How are you? Watching on Facebook, but also...
My consultant, what up?
on YouTube every day. On our YouTube page, Tori goes through and cuts out all the commercials and the music and just puts the show up there, right there on our YouTube
That's
page.
awesome.
That
That's almost as good as bacon and sweeping the Angels.
Yeah, almost.
Almost.
You know, Steve Slayton, he comes in here every morning right around this time. I'm betting you do. Do you know what he does?
What does he do?
He sweeps the Angels. What's the matter? All right, those headphones work. Steve Slayton's going to come in. First, he hit a home run. Then he kicked in a goal. And then he ran it in for a touchdown.
Yeah,
and then he
go
swept
Tips.
the Angels. Yeah, let's go Tips. Steve Slayton's going to walk in this room, play a bunch of classic rock and roll for you, so we should get out of his way. Bye.